Good morning. It's morning here. It's not even, the sun's just starting to come up, but it's pretty dark out. It looks like it's going to be a bit of a rainy day today. That's okay. Today I'm going to do some core. We work with lengthening the core in bowspring. So different than the traditional ideas of these crunching, contracting, like whoa, to get the core super, it shortens the core, and it's like you get this six-pack look, but truly it's not super functionally strong. So with bowspring, we strengthen by lengthening. It's like bow strong, bow belly lengthening, strengthening awesomeness. What else can I say to that? I think basically the main ideas behind bowspring core is we maintain our spinal posture, so the cervical and the lumbar move in and the thoracic stays full. That is whether we're lying on our back or we are lying on our tummy or standing up or whatever we're doing. However we're trying to facilitate any kind of movement is always maintain your spinal alignment, number one. And then it's like we're working to feel the lines of fascia pull. So sometimes it's like less is more, and finding resistance to get those lines to really stretch. That's what we'll work with today. Okay, so let's start on our back. Just get right into it. I'm gonna maybe keep this block somewhere close to me. So starting from all fours, tuck the toes, lift up to crouching cat. We get places mindfully in bowspring, so it's super cool, and we twist our cat to a direction. Let's have a couple of twisted cats actually, because why not? It's morning for me, and I don't know what time it will be for you when you're watching this, but twisted cats never hurt anybody. So we're dropping the ear to the shoulder, lifting up through the ribs. These guys, the more they lift, the lighter you become, just little pulses. Lift up. And then over to the other side, twist the cat to the left, drop right ear to right shoulder, lift up through the left ribs, a couple of these guys. Awesome. And then we're going to drop the hip down. Got cords, so maybe I'm going to come back the other way. Drop this hip down. Reach the arm long, side bow. Arms reach up to the sky, roll onto your back. And then shimmy back onto your mat. So here we are on our back. Cords in my life. Okay, so check it out. We want to like push the arms up forward, and then even like a little like bear hug of yourself to broaden through the shoulders. This assures that your thoracic spine has all the space. Your shoulder blades are spread, and the lower lumbar, we want it to be lifting up. It might not be as like lifted as mine. I've got quite some curviness going on, but maintaining that little lumbar curve, moving upward. And the hips root down, and then the back of the head is pressing down, so that I've got my cervical spine is supported and lifting upwards as well. Just perfect. Okay, so we're going to take the knees into the air on a 90-degree angle. If you hero the ankle, so it's that like inner squinch of the ankle. It's kind of that funny movement that we don't quite know how to do until we train our body how to do it. So it's just like the inner squinch of this ankle. Both ankles. And then let's reach the arms up to the sky, make two seeds to engage into the arms. Now the knees are going to move away from you, and the arms are going to move the opposite direction, so that your belly gets tight and your lower lumbar lifts a little bit more. Cool. So this should feel like we're pulling in the belly. Awesome. And if you have like one of those weighted bars, you can hold that here, and that's super cool. All the things you can do with weighted bars. Okay, now we're going to bring the heels to tap the floor, and then lift back up. Heels tap floor, and lift back up, and keep going. And then let's add the arms. As the heels tap down, let's reach the arms even more back, and then take the hands to the knees, little push together when they meet. And tap down and reach, and little press. Really just focusing on getting the fascia in the belly to lengthen and tighten. It's like this contracted expansion, if that makes sense. And then next time your hands come to your knees, let's hold together for 5, 4, like little pushing together, 3, 2, and 1, and then release. So it will feel different. It's not like this like crunching. We're maintaining the spinal curves, and we're finding the contraction of the fascia on the core, so to get it engaged and just get it to start pulling. And this actually makes you really, really strong. So come back, take your hands into with our chin up by our arms. So a little fingertip dome, hands beside your ears and elbows up to the sky. And you can even tap your elbows in front of you just to assure that your shoulder blades are spread and lying broad on the mat. And then take your knees back into the air on that 90 degree. And then move the knees a little bit away from you again to get the belly taut and the lower lumbar lifting just a little bit more. And then water wheel circles with the legs. Check it out. The further you go away, the harder it is. So like the further the legs extend away from you, the harder it gets. And you can imagine you're pulling your heels back through molasses. And in fact, if you have like a sticky mat that causes resistance, you can drag your heels back. Mine's just gonna like ripple up if I do that because it is so sticky. But if you have like a floor and you drag back to get that resistance, it will increase the belly tightening. Also, another thing you can think about here is pulling the fingertips towards your shoulders. This will add increased engagement as well. A little bit of resistance. And then switch directions. And then release. Take a full inhale. And an exhale. And one more inhale. And exhale. Cool. Catch your block. Blocks are cool. I highly recommend always having one. We're going to take this block and do some bowstring bugs. So the block, take it between, let's lift knees into a 90 degree. And then you're going to squish the block on its longest setting between the right knee and the right elbow. The knees are going to stay at 90 degrees, and you're going to really squish this block. This is the magic. And then find extension through the left side. Little come together. The knee and the elbow don't have to tap. I care more that you keep your spinal curves intact. But the one thing that's going to make this like gold is squishing the block. Keep squishing the block. Squish the block. And then release and switch sides. Give her like a little shake. Shake the block, place it between the left knee and the left elbow. Squish that block, and then finding extension with the right side. Chin stays lifted and throat stays open. Squish that block. Keep squishing the block. And then release. Cool. Put your hands to your knees, freedom pose, little rock from side to side. Okay, check it out. So there's this idea of radiant heart in bowspring, and it's just so important. It's a circumferentially open expansion through the rib cage, all sides open. In particular, in traditional yoga, we'll be like, open your heart, and everybody brings their shoulders back and their front heart shows forward. In bowspring, we think about the heart being in the center of the ribs, so that that encompasses not only the front heart, but the sides and the back heart too. So we're gonna do this core exercise. You're just gonna use your fingers, if you have hair, to lift up onto the back crown of your head. And your elbows are gonna so you find globe hands, and then elbows are gonna push forward. So we want to stay so full and broad in the upper back, and then you're just going to find a little bicycle pedal. Keep pushing the elbows up to the sky. Keep pressing the head back into the mat. One more full inhale. Exhale, and then release. And go switch, come onto our belly now. So reach your left arm long. Roll back onto your side. Right hand plants down in front of your heart. You can go dome to bright. And then lift up. Twist back to your knees. Now, okay, so now we're going to do some tummy time. This one is another one where radiant heart is mega, there's not a place that radiant heart isn't important, but this one in particular, if you have melting shoulders, like coming together, a collapsing in the heart is what I would call it, you're gonna feel it in your lower back. So make sure you get this radiant heart, this lifted quality in the upper back. Okay, so come down onto your belly, and your elbows are just before your shoulders. You're going to find a little flower cup, hold your hands here. So check it out. It's gonna get hard to talk when I do this because this one's super intense, but it's going to look like this. We're going to press our forearms super strong down into the mat to fill into the upper back, number one. And the knees are going to push down and pull towards the elbows. Elbows are going to push, forearms are going to push down, and elbows are going to hug towards the knees. So you see how rounded my upper back is? It's not this, it's this. It's like plank on steroids. Heels are energetically pulling towards the butt like a hamstring curl. Knees are pushing down and pulling towards the elbows. Forearms are pushing down and pulling towards the knees. Wow! Chin is lifted, throat is open, we're smiling. Option to add on a little windshield wiper. Only if you have the upper back full. And then release. Whew. It's so hard. But it's so awesome. One more set. So, starting with the forearms. Forearms fill into the upper back first, so the shoulder blades are spread, radiant heart in the back heart. Okay. Push, wah, number one. And the knees and the hips go up. And then the knees push down and pull towards the elbows, and the forearms push down and the elbows pull towards the knees. And we're so full and broad and spacious in our upper back. And chin is lifted, belly is long. And you're breathing. And then release. Waka waka. Take your hands in front of you and your elbows in front of you. And just find a little hammy curl towards the butt so that your butt lifts up a little bit. Press the head into the thumbs and just full inhale. Exhale. And exhale. Cool. Take your hands wide. Press up. Sit back onto your knees. Take hands into ecstasy. So thumbs meet the occipital lobe. Elbows hug forward. Do two hands wrap on either side of your skull. Let's find a couple of belly stretches. So heroed feet, top of the feet pressing down. Pulling back towards the knees. Sit down, hips back. And then forearms up to the sky. Just stretching the belly out. Cool. And that's it. Coffee time for me, like right now. So if you have any questions, holler. The one on the belly is it's just so vitally important that you have the radiant heart, so the fullness in the upper back. If you don't, you compromise the lower back, you'll feel a crunching. No crunching, we don't want it. But yeah, just trying to maintain the spinal curves everywhere. When we take care of radiant heart, the source curve of our thoracic spine, the lumbar and the cervical can find their full capacity curve, which just feels really nice and supportive to our body. That's it. Namaste.